Yes, everyone, episode 24. And this week we look at the world's best and worst thieves, from the ridiculous to the meticulous, the best heists of the 21st century. And we look at the best heist movies of all time.
Chew the fat.
Boys.
Hello. Bonjour.
We're back. Episode 24. 24 hours in a day. 24 hours of us, basically.
Wow.
There you go. A day's worth of content we've put out there for everyone.
Wow.
Nearly.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
Fair.
I wonder where you're going with that.
Back with episode 24, and we're switching things up a little bit, aren't we?
Tiny bit. Yeah.
So we feel like we've had enough time practicing and getting used to this, and we just felt like we wanted a little bit more order. Order.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you're not pro order.
Chaos.
We're going to give you sections of chaos, but basically, rather than a scattergun approach, we're going to try and theme our episodes going forwards. And each week, we're going to take it in terms to pick a theme. And the themes are not going to be inspired by something that we've seen, right? So it's not just a random pluck out thin air. And this
Mine was
week,
going to be.
Yeah, I was going to say, some of them might be.
yeah, okay,
One in every three is going to be a random.
okay.
There's the chaos. Yeah.
There we go.
There it is, right on cue.
But this week, this happened organically, so I feel like it's a good one to start with. And this is a story from my friend Ollie. So, Ollie, if you're listening, watching, thank you very much for this story. It is a bit of a ride. But basically, my friend Ollie was burgled last year. And I knew he'd been burgled. And then the story basically broke of the consequences of said burglary. And I thought I'd share it with you because it's quite amusing.
Right.
So, it was September last year, and it's about 2:30 a.m. and he's in bed with his wife, and he hears a little bit going on downstairs. But obviously, like everyone, you think that's nothing of it. It's a house, whatever. He goes downstairs, or goes to the landing, and he's completely stark naked, as a lot of us are at 2:30 in the morning. And he sees a couple of torches, and he sees two guys in balaclavas in his house, which is horrible, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not what you want to see.
When you're in the buff and you feel like you're in your space.
You said that's how you'd take on a man, though. You did.
Yeah.
Grease yourself up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Greased up deaf guy.
You're in the right.
Oh, yeah.
You're perfectly prepared in any way.
Finally.
His way, though, not a nice comforting scene, is it?
My friend Ollie didn't have that same sympathy as me, so he didn't actually want to attack them in the buff. So maybe that's where he went wrong. But anyway, he started kind of like shouting at them, telling them to go, and obviously that caused a little bit of panic around them. And then his wife's calling the police. They're still kind of messing around. Obviously, you don't know what they've got, even, do you?
True.
So people stealing from homes anyway anymore, you know?
I know, but you think if breaking into someone's house, you think they could probably have a weapon, wouldn't you? I think you would assume they've got something. But anyway, so they grab his car keys, get in his car, and drive off with his car.
There you go.
Pretty much
That's what they're after, basically.
fairly new car as well. But the theme of this is basically thick as thieves, because these thieves were thick, right? And this is so the first little incident of why they're thick is they grabbed the car keys, and apparently there was like handbags, phones, laptops, jewelry, and cash, weirdly cash, all near these keys, and they just grabbed the keys. So there's one thing of a quick. They could have been startled, so we'll give them a free pass. They got away with it, or have they? But police come round next day, talking of thick. This policewoman sounds a bit thick, and the police said it will definitely be a Romanian gang. Just straight off the bat.
Jeez.
All right. Wow.
I think you'll never find the car again. Okay, someone's bringing their biases to work, aren't they?
Yeah.
Also, not what you want to hear on the first day after it's happened. Oh, you never find that again.
Yeah.
That's gone.
Yeah. But I've had that with a few things that have been on before. I think the police just...
But stealing cars, there's many ways you could track a stolen car. Like, all the roads are cameraed, everything.
Yeah, exactly. Or was it called PR? AMPR? When they find it?
Yeah.
So anyway, he gets insurance payout. He forgets about it, just chalks it down. That's one that I've lost. 2 months later, he gets a call from a police car pound in Charlton saying, we've got your car, mate. Can you come and pick it up? You got to pay X amount of money. And he's like, my car got stolen. He's like, yeah, you got to come and pick it up. And he's like, what state is it in?
Yeah.
Oh, it's completely burnt out.
No. Come and pick it up. You got to pay for it. Absolutely not. What's going on here?
How am I even driving it out of there?
Exactly.
Like,
You just think if you get in there, it just turns to soot.
Pick it up what, with money. Yeah.
You close the door.
You're Flintstoning your way out.
Yeah. So just calamity on calamity here. But then in January, he receives a call from a very excitable policewoman who definitely divulged way too much information to my friend before they'd even arrested the person. But basically saying that they were going to arrest a guy who had basically burgled another house. And when the guy ran away, his phone fell out his pocket. And as all good thieves, you know, you have the main part of a crime is the cover-up. That's the more important part, right? This guy skipped that lesson. Didn't even have a PIN code.
Oh, no.
I mean...
Who on earth, anyway?
Yeah, who's this
Let
guy?
alone, you could be Ned Flanders himself,
And he's still got a PIN
and you
code.
still got a PIN code. Whiter than white.
Just because it asks you to make one, isn't it? Like, for God's sake.
That's so stupid.
So,
And then he's got all the photos of all the cars he's nicked on it.
yes.
Actually,
Yes.
there it is.
Literally, yeah. So he's
Bingo.
got pictures of all the he's got so on his phone, right? He's got pictures of my friend's house before, pictures of the car, a video of him and his mate driving the car, going, "We just stole a car."
No way.
I mean, it might not be that tune,
right.
but they were singing like they were singing about stealing the car.
Was it in Romanian, was it?
No, it was in Brummie because this guy was from Castle Brom.
Right.
Shout out Castle Brom if you're listening.
Right.
But yeah, it's not a surprise. So, and they haven't even arrested this guy yet. And like she's telling him everything. He's like, okay, well, let me know if something happens. I'm interested to know. They go to arrest the guy at his house. And they obviously, well, as police do, a few of them stand outside and then you get the couple that go up there and knock on the door, but they're kind of ready for a run. And the woman says that a phone just hurls out the window, lands at her feet, and it's his other phone, it's his burner phone that he's chucked out the window trying so they don't find it. Didn't have a PIN code either. Didn't have a PIN code either.
He's a man of repetition, isn't he? Yeah.
He's 2 for 2, this man. That's unbelievable.
That's insane.
Yeah, and his car was just full of things that were like help you break in. But
Was it his car?
no, so obviously this guy's going down for a couple of things, and he's been, as point of recording, he hasn't been sentenced, but he's been convicted. So he's guilty. He pled guilty.
Yep.
But they gave his name and they basically did a bit of digging and we found his Facebook page. And I can't obviously say the Facebook, but I'm going to put some images up and I'm going to show you some images. Let's just say this lad left some breadcrumbs. So these are all posts on his Facebook. 3 words better than I love you. All charges dismissed. That's a meme he posted. This is another meme. My toxic trait is I feel like I could represent myself in court. The comment. You could defo do that, and I bet you would get life. Ha ha ha. Nah, best blagger of all time. Could talk my way out of anything. Ha ha. Well, you didn't, did you?
That's like Siri Birmingham,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. It gets better. He's about me. He's following Stolen Cars Midlands.
Oh, come on.
And he put a picture up with his girlfriend who's now raising a newborn without the dad. Just me, Julie, as the caption. M.I.
Julie.
So there you go. Thick as thieves.
Thick as thieves, indeed. And it all makes sense.
And do you know what?
It all makes
Stolen
sense.
Cars Midlands.
Come on.
There's quite
Throw the book at him. That lawyer who's been dragged into that.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. I didn't go through 7 years of school.
defend this guy.
To defend this guy. This buffoon.
Yeah.
It is the height of buffoonery as well, isn't it? That is so unreal.
It just feels like the Brummie Wet Bandits, doesn't it?
My
really?
first question to him is, why didn't you put a PIN code on your phone?
Because they still would have got in.
Yeah.
But it's more the point
eventually, whatever.
that they can break a phone. But it's more the point that you didn't even try.
I know.
Also, the day he got convicted was his son's 5-year-old birthday, apparently. My friend did some real digging.
Yeah.
So,
Turns
poor
out.
lad, poor son. But maybe he's better off without his... he looks like a real doofus as well, this guy does. I'll show you after the pod. He looks... He's 2 front teeth for having an argument with each other.
It's not going well for him.
No. But...
I might get straightened out.
So the theme of today, if you haven't worked out, is thieves.
Thieves, indeed.
So we're looking at some of the idiot thieves and some of the pretty good
Some of the
ones.
smart thieves, yeah.
Because there's definitely levels.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
What's level 1?
He's ground floor. Isn't he?
Yeah.
This guy.
All he can do is tackle. minimum effect.
He hasn't got the years of experience.
You could call us thieves because we like to steal your attention once a week.
Oh, there he is.
We'd like to steal more people's attention, though, wouldn't we, Ben?
Yeah.
We would love to steal more people's attention. That's a really good segue. Isn't he getting really good at them?
Yeah.
Get a like just for that, please.
There we go.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
guys, like, comment, subscribe. The more that join, the better it is for us, obviously.
I did that thing.
Have you spilled it all over yourself again?
Yeah.
Here he goes, right on cue.
I like the Zoom because I did that to you last week.
Hey, yeah. It'll be 1 a week at this rate.
Anyway. But yeah. And
Anyone listening on audio devices? Which is pretty much everything, isn't it?
what, the iPods? Have you got your iPod?
Are we on SoundCloud?
No, we're not. If you're
Spotify, Apple Music, give us 5 stars, please.
give us 5 stars.
Tell your friends, man.
Tell your friends, tell a friend, watch the shorts, engage with the shorts, and we can just keep on doing this.
Engage with those shorts, because there's plenty of them.
Well, it's time for... Oh, smooth as butter on a warm summer's day, that was.
Well, before I share this confession, I just want to share a little anecdote about how I got saved from a life of crime.
Go on, I'm all ears.
So I stole something once upon a time. I truly did. I must be a single-digit age. 8, 9, something like that. And I was in a shopping centre with my grandmother.
With you now?
With my grandma, yeah. And I stole something. Oh, God, I must have really, really needed it. Really wanted it. I stole a hole punch for some reason from like some textile shop. Must have got about 2 minutes or less than. Probably just got back out to the forecourt of the shop, of the mall itself. And my grandma's obviously... Wherever you got that from.
It's a hard thing to hide in a 7-year-old's pocket.
Yeah, where am I going to put it? Yeah, big
Also,
old
what's
hole
the
punch.
7-year-old doing with a hole punch? You know,
Probably didn't even know what it was, right?
Yeah.
So get marched back in there.
By the year.
Get marched back in there immediately. I've got to take it back to the counter and apologise. I mean, my little face. I'm sure the person couldn't have given any amount of shit.
But for you were standing up facing
huge.
55 years in
Oh
prison.
yeah, I'm going down.
Yeah.
Like this is the beginning of the end, and I'm done for. And I tell you, that moment had been burnt into my memory forever. And this is such a nothing situation, but I'll tell you what, I never pinched anything ever again.
I think there's a lot of parenting like that.
Yeah.
And
not
I
even a
think
stapler.
Oh, that's the next level. It would have been useful at least.
You did it for the rush, though, didn't you?
Did it for the rush. I wanted to see what happened.
Yeah.
Got away with it.
Exactly. I can't remember the first thing that I stole. I used to steal like little bits in it. I tell you what I was bad for. I was stealing pens in class.
Oh,
If I saw someone with a pen that I like the look of, I might have stood it today.
Oh, so
but you give me a
stealing off
week,
classmates.
that'll be him. But put it this way, I had a full and varied pencil case every year, and my mum never bought me any pens.
Full and varied. Yeah, very good,
Yeah.
very good.
Gel pen, I'm your man.
I love the premeditated nature of it as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'll see it. I might not get it today.
Yeah.
But I'll get it soon.
I know
get
I've got you in art class in at
I'll get
3:15.
it. You go and enjoy your lunch. Put your bag down there. Dean, first thing you stole?
Not a heart.
I'll tell you the last thing I stole.
Oh, God.
No, don't tell us that. Oh, talking of thick thieves. Anyway, Ben, what's this confession?
on a podcast.
Exhibit A. It was March 17th.
Crikey. Right, so back to the confession. And this one was simply headed, I am a thief and I'm about to be caught. Okay, see this guy, he knows what's going on.
What's the word called when you're into thieving? Is it
Paraplegic?
No. It is if you get caught by the wrong people. Kleptomaniac.
Okay, yeah, a young klepto.
Yeah. Paraplegic.
Someone's stolen Dean's brain cells today. Yeah. Right. So, bit of background for this young man here, or woman, could be. I'm a high school dropout in my early 20s. I'm currently working a dead-end job at a local gas station. I work 24 hours a week on minimum wage.
Sorry. I can't even listen. I'm sorry. It's folded with that.
Because he ain't stealing much.
Oh, man. You're stealing tears from my ducks right now.
I ain't getting away either.
You will never... No, that's not good.
Where was that going?
You'll never catch me.
No, you'll never get away. More like, right, okay.
Right, sorry, baby.
Yeah, no, we're all good. We're all
Can you
good.
take it to the top?
Take it from the absolute top.
You've got my
Okay,
attention.
so I'm a thief and about to get caught. Bit of background, I'm a high school dropout in my early 20s, currently working a dead-end job in a local gas station, working 24 hours a week on minimum wage. I steal from my job every shift. So that's a bad start. Okay. So I've been working here for about 2 years now, and the stealing started probably about 2 months ago. And you're about, again, talking to thick as thieves, like we're about to start seeing where this guy's brain is. So I realised I knew cigarette prices well enough that I could just take the cash from the customers and give them their change without ever scanning the item.
Underringing.
Super basic, right? Yep. This way the cigarettes don't show up in the system and the cash is not logged in the register, meaning that I can just keep the cash that I put in my pocket. Again, super basic. I'm just at the point now where I've been backed into a corner and I know that I'm about to get caught. My manager doesn't suspect anything, but he's told me that there's a large variance in stock taken and cash received. He does suspect something, obviously.
Yeah.
Right?
Stocks don't lie either.
You always ask an honest question first without to see what they say, but he knows.
He knows. Cigarettes are kept behind the counter, as they always are, and only the cashier has access to them, which means me and 4 other people are prime suspects. When they check the CCTV and see me slipping money into my pockets that corresponds with the stock I'm missing, I'm done for. My manager has mentioned to me that this has happened to someone in the past and they got made to work off the debt and then got fired. So that's pretty much what I'm... Yeah, that's how you deal with that, by the way.
That's nice.
Definitely how you deal with that.
He knows.
This guy's saying he's not going to try and defend himself and saying he needed money for X, Y, Z reason because he really just didn't. He just got into the habit of stealing. I'm racked with guilt and I feel physically sick and scared all the time. Just don't know what to do. Reality is, there's nothing you're going to do. You can't do anything now. Up sticks and move house, move state.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Get another job so you can earn money in the background while you're paying off your the money you...
I mean, it's only working 24 hours a week.
Yeah, on what? $5?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no, pack it. I'm
So
sorry.
get
you probably work that
another
off in a week,
job.
wouldn't
Yeah.
So yeah, what do we think about that one, boys?
He's got to take it on the chin, and he.
Got to take it on the chin.
Yeah.
No two ways about it.
you? You know what you're doing.
But it speaks to his brain, right? First of all,
He's young.
he's young. I mean, I don't know if I was ever so young to be so naive as to think I could get away with something like that.
Yeah, but you've always had a bit of common sense.
Yeah.
You take that for granted.
Common sense ain't common.
Yeah,
Yes, you're absolutely right.
There's a part where like you're doing a job that you're thinking like I'm not getting paid enough to do, like whether you think it is enough or it isn't.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're not thinking it's enough, you're probably going to try and find a way of winning, leveling that out, innit?
So you're
Yeah.
justifying it wrongly.
Yeah.
But I do like the play from the manager there of he knows or she knows.
Absolutely knows.
And going, scaring him a little bit. Because I like that. That's my style. If I was, yeah.
Because let's do a little bit.
Make him sweat.
But I did the same thing once, happened to me.
Did you?
Where I was in the manager's position. We had an event where we were doing something for an electronics brand, had loads of devices, and overnight we'd put them back in a locked cupboard. A few of them went missing. Mm-hmm. And I basically said to everyone on the stand, I don't care who's stolen them. I don't care why you stole it. I'm not going to ask any questions, but I want it back on in that box by midday. If it isn't there, this won't go any further. I won't tell anyone. And there was 3 devices missing. And all were back by midday.
Yep. That's what it is.
And I was like, well, someone's really got scared. Because I said the CCTV in there that you don't see, played that game. And it's a massive company and they will just take you to court because they got a zero tolerance or something like that. And it was there and I was like, wow.
And these are people that are working on the event, not a bad wage probably.
Yeah.
What do you think the mentality is? What do you think is going through someone's head where they think, I'm going to get away with making a few things?
I think some people are just opportunistic.
Just see a
I don't
chance.
think it's good. And I think this is one of the things we want to talk about today.
Yep.
I think thieving goes back to the Bible times. It's like always been bad, right? It's unanimously not liked because there's a victim involved with theft. You're taking from someone else, aren't you? But I mean, especially with people being so poor now, you can see why people are shoplifting at Sainsbury's all the time.
Yeah.
You can imagine them people doing it.
Yeah.
And you tell you what, they're not proud of it.
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't. The ones that are proud of it are the ones that are doing it for the wrong reasons. Because you would
like
feel
the
guilt.
career criminal kind of. Yeah, for sure. Not like the Aladdins of the world.
No, or Robin
We
Hoods.
love Aladdin.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, mate. Stop stealing apples. and
Lovable
bread.
road.
But if you throw it up and then bite it,
Yeah.
you kind of
On the way out, so they can see you doing it.
yeah.
Oh, he's done it again.
That guy's
The
got
scamp.
style. We'll only take one of his hands.
Catch in hand.
Yeah, no, I think that's quite interesting that there's a different way of looking at it, and if you do give someone the benefit of the doubt and you realise that it's not something they were trying to do maliciously,
yes,
and maybe they didn't think there was a victim, because sometimes corporations don't feel like they can be victims of
Yeah,
anything,
yeah.
right? It's like, who cares? It's big such and such, big pharma.
They're robbing people blind every day anyway, innit?
But you're still benefiting from taking it, so
That's
you're
the
still
thing,
like, it can get difficult. But I tell you what, if someone steals from you, you want nothing more than that person to get all their comeuppance.
Yes.
Don't
It's
you?
how deeply personal does it become when it's your thing?
My mate, when they broke into his house.
Yeah, man.
I can
your
only
house,
imagine.
every night you're probably going to be on edge, innit?
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
night.
I got burgled. Remember when I got burgled
Oh, this was bad.
in Hanger Lane?
Yeah.
I went to sleep with my housemate had an air rifle and an axe. No, a machete. I went with blunt as anything. Went to sleep with that sitting upright because I thought they were going to come back. But again, they were idiots. They left Galaxy cameras we had on that job that were like 500 quid at the time.
Right.
They left. I had two of them by the door. They left them both.
Yeah.
They stole a custom fitted shirt I had. Like a nice white shirt for a suit. That was
It's
just
not
for
even
me.
gonna fit you. that's petty. That's really annoying.
Unless
annoying.
they've been following you and they needed
He's about
one.
the right size.
Yeah, and they were like,
Jesus, he has the same wingspan as me. I bet he's got a fitted shirt.
got to go to a wedding or something.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's time.
Laugh of the week. Yeah.
Deanie.
Okay.
Make us laugh.
No, it's
We already have done with paraplegic, to be fair. That's my laugh of the week.
I'm glad. I actually sent you a little video, and do you know what? This can kind of tie in with theft.
I should hope so. It's the theme of the show. I'm joking.
And by chance, it's someone's brain robbing them of their own. There you go.
2.5 years ago, she was rushed into
seen
hospital
this.
with a migraine, which left her with a voice she didn't recognise.
I have not actually heard my voice in the conversation.
She's on the wind up there.
For a year now.
Her initial response upon hearing how she used to sound from a bank telephone recording was to long for her old accent.
So for audio
to
listeners,
return.
this woman is white and she's putting on a Chinese accent after a stroke.
I know it's me, but I feel like I want to say, oh, she make a good speak. She speak a good, but like that, not me no more. They were all just one picture you can see.
Oh, that's so bad, isn't it? Foreign accent syndrome, it's called. It's a real thing.
Wow. So
Sorry for laughing at her.
It's funny because she just picked one of the most overly stereotyped accents of all time.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like. All right, so she's had a stroke. Yeah, she's had a stroke, and she can't talk like a British person anymore. She talks now like a.
No, but go back a step, right? You're the husband. She's non-verbal for the first few days. You're going, oh, will I ever get my wife back? Her eyes open. Julie, oh God, you had us worried sick. And then she goes,
You get the woman out of South Park's Chinese restaurant.
Andrew, I miss you. Like, some of that. You're like, what? And it's an over-the-top accent there as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Also,
not...
you wouldn't forget and know how to speak Mandarin. You just forget and speak English, but poorly. Poor dialect.
I tell you what, though, if I have a stroke...
So many things going on.
If I have a stroke, I'm doing that for a wind-up when I come out.
You're going to do a Rasta man or something.
Yeah. I'll be like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Oh, they're holding us down.
Brilliant. What a character.
I wonder how she's getting on today.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's got to wear off eventually.
She could
that,
never
isn't
go
it?
to a Chinese restaurant, could she?
She couldn't go.
They'd spit in the food,
No,
surely.
but she couldn't. Imagine going out and just doing normal stuff. Everyone's just going to be
Anywhere.
You're racist. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, no, sorry, not me. My accent.
Would you have to double down and just start wearing like
Kimono.
Chinese tunics and just try and act like you're brought up there, but you're white?
The Chinese tunic.
You know the ones I mean? The ones that masseuses wear? What would you call it? There's a name, isn't it?
A kimono.
No, that's Japanese.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
You know the one I mean? And you get in like the massage places that have like they come across and they're like pink and green with like detailing on them.
It's the perfect time to remind you all again that we don't know what we're talking about.
I'm googling Chinese tunic.
We never know what we're talking about.
Chinese tunic. Good name for a band.
It's actually pretty good, yeah. I'll have to see Chinese tunic tonight. Yes.
So she was robbed of her sanity, was she?
Or robbed of her of herself, of her own voice. You know,
Yeah.
her brain has robbed her.
She is a victim there. That's the thing that you can't even empathise with because it sounds like she's taken the piss so much.
We're all the victim of her being taking us all for a
Yeah,
ride.
yeah, probably that.
And yeah, she's just been. She's got into a hole that she can't get out of, and now she just has to keep doing the voice until
like
people
Shaggy.
stop asking
But
her
when Cartman had
questions.
Tourette's, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The amount of South Park references you make, I have to watch it.
You have to. I mean,
Cartman had
bloody hell, what are you
Tourette's.
doing?
We're not watching South Park.
Yeah.
Dean, have you got some news for us?
Yep.
There's no point in me putting that episode guide up there, is there? Tell the people what the news is.
Hey, welcome to Chew the Fat News.
The way the news goes.
Here we go then. Okay, so keeping in with the theme, I've gone with someone with a poor diet. No.
That's good.
Doesn't make sense, does it? Anyway,
Robbed of his
Texas man sentenced to 50 years for 50 years, by the way, for stealing $1.2 million worth of fajitas.
Oh no, that's a bad trade.
Made up fajitas. They were rolled.
I don't
Because you
know
wouldn't
if
call a
they
fajita a fajita
yeah, just the
unless it was
ingredients.
rolled.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's stolen chicken, pepper, and onion. And that's not 50 years worth.
No, you'd get more crime because it's separate ingredients.
Mad, isn't it? Yeah, it's already mad, isn't it? Right, so Gilberto Escamilla had stolen more than $1.2 million worth of fajitas over the course of approximately 9 years.
He does not deserve 50 years.
It's mad, isn't it?
Pedos get less than that.
It's mad,
That's
isn't it?
shocking.
Yeah.
Right, go on. Sorry.
America, eh? Where justice is true and
He's just trying to feed himself for
True
9
and fair.
years.
But how many
Hold on
million?
a minute. Hold
Go
on a
on,
minute.
sorry. Okay. Get ahead of myself.
Well, firstly, I think he got that much because he was employed at a juvenile detention centre. So he was employed by the state, basically, wasn't
Right.
he? So he's been placing orders for fajitas using county funds and then selling them for his own profit since December 2008. So he's been robbing off the rich and giving to the poor, well, himself.
Selling to the poor, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not been helping anyone.
Yeah, he's just been robbing off the rich, really. But
You do that thing again when you gave him too much sympathy.
Exactly. And then you've got to reassess the situation. Right. Fuck this guy. Sorry.
yeah, wait, there it is. The scheme unravelled after a delivery driver
Bloody.
would have got away with it.
It was you pesky drivers.
So the delivery driver phoned the detention centre to give kitchen employees a heads up that an £800 in weight, not thingy.
Yeah.
£800, I don't know how heavy that is.
Heavy.
Delivery of fajitas has arrived.
It's like 370 kilos.
So they were pre-rolled?
Must have been. Who pre-rolls for heat? That's mental to me.
And then
that.
also,
Or for a prison,
how's he
I guess.
reselling them for more? Has he got a van? And he sells that? Anyway, employees immediately thought the delivery was suspicious as minors at the detention centre are not served fajitas. However, the delivery driver insisted that he'd been delivering fajitas to the detention centre for the past 9 years. So he's literally just been like rubbing the menu out or something like it, and replacing fajitas with
Can I just say,
beans on toast or something.
Beans on.
what caterer has a revenue, outgoings of that much money just from fajitas? He must be thinking, bloody hell, I've got a racket here. All I do is make fajitas, and it's one guy buys them off me
Is
non-stop.
he getting paid for them either? I don't think he is. Is he getting
He's
paid?
getting paid by the prison. That's the crime. So the guy selling the fajitas is looked up.
Oh, yeah, true.
I bet he's got a solid system of making them quickly as well now.
Oh, he had.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he doesn't sell any
Evaporated now,
fajitas
yeah.
at all, does he? I used to have the biggest contract in Texas. After being fired and arrested, his house was searched by police who found packages of fajitas in his refrigerator.
Oh, well, yeah, that's good enough for me. Yeah, just lock him up.
I just cooked those yesterday.
Is that a tortilla? It's not what it looks like. It's not what it looks like.
Get him. Lock him up.
So there's quotes by the guy himself. It was selfish. It started small and got bigger and out of control. It got to the point where I couldn't control it anymore.
He's basically Gustavo Fring by the end of it after 9 years.
Open his kitchen cupboard and just hated it.
I hope someone said when he got sentenced, that's a wrap.
Oh, sickening, but very good. Yeah, sickening, but very good.
I always wait for the pun in these. 50 years.
50 years.
That's too much.
Still too much.
Way too much.
he's
5
had to-
years is enough of that.
He's had to pay the money back.
Oh, then don't do anything. 50 years?
The States for you. Well, and also, okay, so he's stolen $1.2 million worth of fajitas over the course of 9 years. How much money do we think he's even managed to make for himself as profit by the end of this?
Yeah, I mean, what's the going rate for a second-hand fajita?
From a bunch of kids in a juvie centre. What are they paying him?
No, but he's not
No,
selling
he's
to the
selling them,
kids.
not selling them to them. He's selling them to other people.
He's taking them
taking it
home,
out of
isn't
there.
he?
yeah,
he's
yeah,
selling it
yeah.
on-
He's getting them delivered there, and then he's going peddling. He's peddling them.
How is he
Literally on a
transporting
bike.
all
He
these?
must have a dealer
How's he
network.
transporting all of these? Thought he was giving it to the kids for sweets.
Infiltrate the dealer, find the supplier. Wow.
Yeah, so many unanswered questions, but
It raises a lot of questions.
So that was your worst thief. I've got some thieves that are pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Well, it was good for 9 years, to be fair to him.
yeah,
Yeah.
Successful.
Oh, but he thought he had a cheat
Had
code.
a business going.
Oh,
yeah,
he
for
thought,
sure.
I'm set for life.
Right, so I've got a story from the worst thief of recent time, and then I'm going to go back in history, not too far back, for the best thieves. Because we want to make it balanced, right? So, let me just bring this up. So the sheriff who arrested this pair said, basically at the start of a press conference, we've got to make things a little bit lighter. Because obviously he's just been talking, every time he stands up there, it's probably something awful, like someone's been murdered. And he went, there are times in this job and career that it has to be true because you can't make this up. This guy may be the dumbest person on the face of the earth. He actually said that at a press conference. So after receiving a hung-up 911 call, deputies responded to a vacant home to find Martin Gonzalez Garcia and his girlfriend, Achilles Roldan Escasio, in the middle of a robbery. That's when officers just discovered the 911 call came from inside the home, and it was made by none other than the girlfriend. So basically, she'd called the police whilst they were inside someone's home, so the police could give him a hand and give him a lift to the airport. That's how dumb she was.
What?
So when asked about the call, Roldan Escasio, her name's utterly ridiculous, by the way, said she was hoping a deputy would help the couple move their belongings from the site and drop them off at the airport where they planned to head to New York. She called 911 for the purpose of having law enforcement assist them with moving their belongings from the house, the one they were burglarizing, the sheriff's office said, and they were trying to get a ride to the airport because they wanted to go to New York for the weekend. We thought she was kidding, the sheriff Judd told reporters. You'd have to be from New York to do something like that. Nice little slide dig at New York in small Polk County.
Who do they think they are?
In Polk County.
Yeah. Big city life.
Yeah, so they were charged, and the guy was hit with a slew of other charges, including criminal mischief. He remained in custody on a bond. Making matters worse from him, he was quickly identified as the suspect in a break-in in a nearby Dollar Tree the previous night.
Dollar Tree.
come on,
Went from
it's
Dollar Tree
relentless.
to a house.
So that's a Poundland.
Yeah.
He's gone Poundland house. Imagine, I mean, I can't imagine he's the brightest, but when you realise that your missus has done that,
Was the local taxi firm like
yeah.
0800
What?
91171 or something? You know what I mean? They just fucked it up. Like,
Who's ever thought to call the police for a lift?
yeah, regardless of if you just burgled someone.
That's not what's done. What? I don't get
I
that
tell you
at
what,
all.
though, there are some nut jobs that some nutty 911, 911, 911 and 999 calls.
Yeah,
that you're
yeah.
like, what is going through your brain?
Your dispatchers must have heard everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And some people just do it for a bit of fun as well, don't they? Which is,
What a job. I'm not getting a job at Dispatch.
oh no, you're joking. It's a call centre.
How long would he last doing dispatch? 25 minutes.
Nah, really?
Do you want to lift with that stuff?
Yeah.
I'll help you out.
That sounds really bad, mate.
Oh, that's mad.
No, I think you hear some horror stuff as well.
Yeah, you would.
And then I think you'd be numb to it and you'd be a bit like the boy who cried wolf, where you could have someone genuinely in I do think you get this.
That's a bad space to be in, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot of paramedics and ambulance workers say that. They get so numb to seeing horrendous stuff.
you listen. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so we've talked about some idiots so far. I think it's time to show a bit of respect for the professional thief.
Genius.
Because the world is full of some people that have done some things, and you've got to applaud a good heist.
Yeah.
A good heist. The difference between robbing a house and a heist, there's planning involved. There's expertise.
Designated getaway drivers, not
Yes.
just calling the police.
Yeah. And
Specialists.
yeah. And there is that really cool moment of any good heist film where you assemble the crew.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where I'll start.
Oh, yeah.
Because most people just call them their mates, which is why they end up in prison. You know, because
you're-
the only other person that would do this without telling on me is an idiot,
Yeah.
and he's who's the really fat black guy from Snatch?
What, Tyrone?
Tyrone.
Yeah.
Silly fat bastard.
Oh, what a great! Oh, that film. Love that film.
It's a very good film.
So, talking of Snatch, we're going to Antwerp.
Oh, okay.
So you might have heard of this because it was only in 2003. The Antwerp diamond heist of 2003. I think I remember it. A bit too young to remember the details though. But this is a heist that's been called the greatest heist of the 21st century, which is
Bold.
very bold.
Yeah.
So Antwerp is in Belgium, and it has a diamond district that is just has a monopoly on the world. So 80% of the world's uncut diamonds will pass through Antwerp. So where we've got what's that street called in Holborn? Farringdon? Hatton Court Gardens.
Oh, okay.
Where there was also the Old Man Heist, wasn't there?
Yeah.
They've got an area like that, but it's much bigger. And it's heavily, heavily fortified. So there's a load of different diamond merchants, and they have this one collective centre in the middle. And then they have a shared vault there
Right.
that is like Fort Knox.
Yeah.
So the collective vault has 10 layers of security. I actually haven't counted if I've got 10 here, but I'm just going to say them anyway. So it's 2 stories underground. It's got cameras on the outside. On the door, there's a combination dial with over 100 million different combinations. Next to that, there's a very specific shaped key lock.
Right.
Right. Do you remember in Rugrats when they had to try and escape? And he pushed the Play-Doh in to get the right shaped key.
No.
I think it was in Rugrats.
Sounds Rugrats. I give you that.
That's all I thought about.
That's where
How
your
would you get that
brain
key
was,
to look
yeah.
that shape?
So then, obviously, if you get through that the door itself is a 3-ton steel door, right? And it has a seismic sensor. So if you were to try and drill through it, the seismic sensor would recognize any slight vibrations. Big alarm would go off. It would also has a magnetic field alarm. So when that door swings open, that magnetic field is broken to where the door was. That then triggers an alarm.
Right.
If that fails, there's a steel grate behind the door that's got a lock on it. Then if you get through that, there's an internal security camera, there's a light sensor, and then there is a heat and motion camera as well. So they're covering all the bases, right?
This is the plot of Mission Impossible 1.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's
it's
insane.
yeah. So that's what they've got set up there. So Leonardo Notarbartolo. Yeah. He's our protagonist.
Okay.
And our anti-hero in this plot. So he rented an office in a diamond district, posing as an Italian diamond dealer, and ran a legitimate business for 3 years before the heist. So you want preparation.
Yeah.
Old Leonardo's
Dedication.
your man. Because he's done his
You
groundwork.
also need to know the workings of it all as well.
Yeah. So, and you got to think, that's 3 years he's been there. But how long has he been thinking about it before that?
Yeah.
So this must be his life's work. And it's brilliant because there's so many times where you could go, I shouldn't do that. But he's obviously so hooked by that carrot in his head, that diamond encrusted carrot.
Surely the thing for him is beating all of that system, not stealing the jewels at the end. Do you know what I mean? Like he's got to be like, I really want to.
It's a sport at that point, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
100%,
yeah, for sure.
100%. That's definitely a consideration. So, as a merchant, he had a 24-hour pass and access to the vault. Obviously, that's not just coming and going access, but you had access to go down there legitimately and use the vault for your diamonds when you could close up your shop.
So he's been casing the place for so long.
Yeah.
Right?
So photography wasn't allowed, but he managed to sneak a tiny camera on a pen that he had popping over his shirt. Stuff like that.
Okay.
You got to
James
love
Bond.
that. And this is 2003 where, you know, we don't have...
Yeah, that would have been grainy as anything.
It's not like... Yeah, you think so.
Is that a door or a window?
You think so, right? But that footage enabled them to recreate a life-size vault off-site that him and his newly recruited...
This is Mission Impossible.
Well,
Jesus.
truth is stranger than fiction sometimes.
Yeah.
So he recruited a team of 5, including himself, and created an exact replica, as I said. They practiced the heist over and over and over again. I'm not sure for how long, but there's some, you know, and some investment got in here as well.
Yeah,
I
too
imagine
right.
if he sells a few diamonds, he's probably all right for money.
I want to see the montage of that selection process as well.
Yeah,
please.
Exactly. This is the part where I think the Antwerp Diamond Centre probably got a bit cocky. They didn't have any guards on because they've just assumed that all those measures were enough. And I guess that's probably a fair assumption.
Should have been. Yeah.
3-ton steel doors enough, isn't it? Surely.
So they chose a Saturday night for the heist because most of the people in that diamond district were Jewish. And obviously Saturday's a Sabbath. And they thought that no one would be going down in the vault on a Saturday night. So again, using his smarts. The day before, he went into the vault as normal and sprayed hairspray on the heat sensor. Thin layer of women's hairspray that stopped the sensor from picking up any changes in heat or motion and anything like that. So no one saw it, but he did that the day before. So that would have got the heart rate up for a start.
I mean, oh my God, the belief that you have to have that you've done the right amount of hairspray to make sure that doesn't happen.
He's tried.
Everything's hinged on that.
Incredible. Yeah. If that messes up, the whole thing's chalk.
But he's
you've got
done
to
that
go-
surely with a heat sensor at home. He sprayed it and seen how long it lasts. Or
Of
whatever.
course, but still, it's different. You know, the dress rehearsal's different to the live show.
Yeah.
And he's gone to bed that night. So Leonardo was the getaway driver and all this, and obviously the brains behind the heist. Where were we?
He was smart enough to know not to go in as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Way outside of the car. Go on.
So they waited till midnight and they broke into a rundown office next door. They then got into a balcony, broke through a window and got into the diamond centre and got down to the vault level. They covered the camera with a black bag and switched off the lights. So from now on in, it's total darkness. They had a slab of aluminium with double-sided tape that basically reenacted the magnetic field. So when they'd open the door, this conductor of magnetism either side of the door. So they got everything. And all these things apparently could be bought really easily from like a local hardware store, basically, which makes it almost better. Using the camera Leonardo had hidden before, they had the contribution. They had the combination for the dial lock.
Right.
So again, tiny camera. You wouldn't think there's any like plant pots just hide a camera in, but he's put a camera there and saw someone put the combination in. You wouldn't think that would be possible. Then again, this is where the Antwerp Diamond Centre needs to really take a look in the mirror. This super unique key was just hanging up next door. I was there to break in, but it was like key, arrow. They opened the door, picked the lock on the steel gate. They then covered the internal sensors with foam, tape, and bin liners, all still in the darkness. They even rerouted all the wires in the ceiling to ensure no alarms were sent out.
So impressive.
Even more impressively was that they did this in the darkness, as I said. They helped themselves over $100 million worth of diamonds, gold, and currency. They ran out at 5:30 a.m., so 5 hours, and got away in the car. If only the getaway was as slick. So they had to stop to burn the plastic gloves, the nitrate gloves that they've been wearing, to obviously burn off any evidence. So they got through everything, not left a shred of evidence. And apparently, one of the heist members threw out a salami sandwich, half-eaten salami sandwich, and who had taken a bite out of it? Leonardo. And some of his saliva was left on it. And they arrested Leonardo, and they were sentenced to 10 years in prison. He never gave up the names of his accomplices. And Leonardo even claims that they only took $20 million and that the $100 million figure was an insurance scam by the Diamond Center.
Right.
Which is, you can kind of get. The money was never found and no one else was ever arrested.
So
he
after
did
10
how long,
years,
sorry?
he's
10 years.
So it was
he
just a
did-
fifth of a fajita. So, you know what I mean?
That's mad, isn't it? That is, compare those two.
I thought he was scot-free. That is unfortunate.
But still 10 years knowing that, I mean, I really hope he got a slice of the pie when he got out.
When he comes out, he's getting that because he didn't give anyone up either, innit? So they've all.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you never
mind
know.
there's no,
You don't know what
what's
they've
it?
done.
There's no something in Thieves. Well, there's no.
Honour amongst thieves.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope he got something. I hope he got something.
Sure. Just got to find out where he lives now.
But he never eats a salami sandwich again.
Phew.
Not half eaten, he's finishing that.
But obviously, there's like some missing links to why they'd have DNA tested him anyway. So I guess at a certain point they've closed the gap a little
and
bit.
the part that I didn't, obviously, I was reading an article on it, and also I watched a video on it as well. Is do they just find a salami sandwich at the side of a road?
Yeah.
And just go
Check it.
check that.
Yeah.
Or did he like leave it in? Did he leave it in the vault? No, he didn't go into
Yeah.
the vault, did he? So
Maybe he closed his shop down, and that was a bit of a link because he wasn't around.
Yes, that's very good.
And then they tracked maybe some cameras with the car because they would have been able to track something.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been completely breadcrumbless.
well, they had a whole sandwich of.
There it is.
There we go. Bum, bum.
But you've got to applaud a heist like that.
I really rate that.
It's very GTA like, isn't
I want a
it?
film about that.
Yeah, how's that not been made into film already?
Yeah.
Speaking of which.
Oh,
Speaking of which, he did it.
take us to Hollywood, Benny boy.
So I've got, obviously, there's such a huge roster of heist films that you could have gone to, and I really had the pick of the bunch, and I was really looking around, and I thought to myself, I want something a little bit more underappreciated. We know all the Ocean's movies, we know Gone in 60 Seconds, we know Swordfish, we know all these big heist films, but this one is one that I absolutely adored as a kid. I watched it so much. Have you guys ever seen or heard of The Three Kings?
Oh, Three Kings is
a
a movie.
And no one's not
I
seen
don't
it.
think so. No,
Amazing.
Mark Wahlberg.
Okay. So what I'll do, I'll quickly read the synopsis of the film just so you guys have a grounding.
Three Kings.
at home.
Oh, I'm going
But
to
this
watch
is
that again.
Such an absolute banger. So this is just a little the synopsis of it. So just after the end.
Jerry Bruckheimer.
No, but you'd have been forgiven to thinking that
Yeah.
because of the way the movie plays out. So just after the end of the Gulf War, 4 American soldiers decide to steal a cache of Saddam Hussein's hidden gold. So, needless to say, things go awfully awry, and the group, led by cynical Sergeant Major Archie Gates, is George Clooney. He's so good in this, by the way.
If you're going to get anyone in, it's Clooney.
Clooney's so perfect for this kind of thing. So they run into some trouble and have to get rescued by some local rebels. But the Sergeant Troy Barlow, who's played by Mark Wahlberg, he gets captured and subsequently tortured by Iraqi intelligence. The Iraqi rebels beg for the American trio, who is now Clooney, Spike Jonze, and Ice Cube, of all people. I mean...
The most unlikely friendship group ever.
So the Iraqi rebels beg for this trio to help fight against the impending arrival of Hussein's elite guards. The men agree to do the fighting in return to help in rescuing Troy. So it's an action comedy drama directed by David O. Russell, who's best known for stuff like The Fighter, Silver Linings Playbook, I don't know if you've ever seen that, and American Hustle, which is very, very good.
Yeah.
Features some actual, and I do believe there's some career best performances in this. I think George Clooney is out of his box. He's so perfect for this. Ice Cube is the best as an actor he's ever been in this film. And Mark Wahlberg is up
Jump
there.
Street. Ice Cube's up there.
Jump Street, yeah, but that's almost like a 20-year
comedy,
later. But
funny, I was being a
you're
bit
right on that. No, you're right on that. And yeah, a great supporting cast as well. The film didn't do too well the year that it came out. Apparently, it got buried by the likes of American Beauty coming out and stuff like that. Which
About
is a bit of a
98,
shame.
99 kind of time.
99, I believe. Yeah, pretty sure it was 99. And
I remember getting it from Blockbuster.
this is exactly what I wanted to get to.
Really remember the golden front cover with them walking in the desert. Yeah,
I have it. I still have it on DVD to this day, and in fact, this is kind of what happened because a lot of people it didn't do super well at the box office, but it kind of found a second life on DVD, and then now later on in streaming services sits a very healthy 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, which we know doesn't mean too much, but it means
shows
something.
that people like it. Yeah, for sure.
Was it a true story, right? Yeah.
No, there's probably been things like that did happen, but it's not based specifically on a true story. It's a really
That's good.
Really
I'm going to watch
solid
that.
movie.
Heist movies. There's a lot, aren't there?
There's so many.
I was I think I watched Logan Lucky recently. Good fun heist movie that.
Almost made it onto. I was going to talk about that. Yeah.
The Town. Oh, Town is such a good movie.
The Town for ages.
The extended version as well.
It's
When that policeman
name?
looks at them and they just go like that. Oh, that is a heart. But yeah,
There's some absolute
time.
bangers out there.
there's so many. I mean, and then you get the cheesy ones like what was that Will Smith and Margot Robbie one that was
Oh,
What was that called?
the one where they had that. Where the
Focus.
Yeah.
Focus.
And his dad ends up being a white. Oh, anyway.
He taught him the tricks of the trade.
And stole his kidney or something. Did he?
I was going to do Gone in 60 Seconds because it's just a very, very ridiculous film. But I
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah, it's
Nicolas
great.
Cage. Nicolas Cage.
in
Nicolas
his
Cage.
prime.
The Borrowers.
Oh, there's a.
There it is.
There's
Did
an
they give it
outside
back?
shout.
They had no right stealing the things they stole. It's an industrious species, the Borrowers. John Goodman didn't know what was hitting him.
Industrious species.
Yeah.
Them and Ants.
Them and Ants. Yeah,
Which is also a great film.
it is. Any
Ants
heists
is-
happening, Ants? No.
I don't know if there were. Which one's better? Ants or
Alone?
A Bug's Life?
Oh, I never know.
Oh, Ants had a bit more jeopardy than a Bug's.
Yeah, it did when they were all dangling at the end with the water coming up.
But Ants is just a hideous to look at film.
Yeah.
And also bizarre that I didn't
yeah.
even cross my mind about Home Alone as
Yeah.
a thieving movie.
I suppose it's
That's crazy.
thieving gone bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let us know your favourite thieving movies, heist movies. Fantastic, Mr. Fox.
Oh well, now another George Clooney, another
Yeah, he's
George
done
Clooney
loads of
masterclass.
heists, actually, now we
he's-
think about
he's
it.
the heist guy.
Yeah.
he really is.
He should win the Heistman Trophy.
On that note, don't out yourselves, but tell us the first thing that you ever stole, as long as it wasn't anything super serious. And it's not a person.
I stole someone's eyes.
Kidnapping.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Any of them South
Really
Americans
escalated,
watching.
huh?
Keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
Oh, I enjoyed that. I quite like the theming route that we went down.
Yeah,
Like a
good.
theme.
I like it.
Might just be the first one.
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
we'll see.
Yeah, it's good.
Episode 24 in the bag. We're back with 25 next week. That's a quarter century.
Oh damn!
Oh.
We'll make it a good one.
Thank you all for watching, listening, and we'll see you all next week.